welcome back. Thanks so much for being with us. Jon Burnside is here, and he's running for the open school position at the school board. And welcome to the show.
Hey,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And what was your reasoning for wanting to run?
Well, ultimately my reason for running is I've got an 8th grader, and I've got a first grade. I shouldn't say kindergarten. Past kindergarten, thing. They still were in first grade. 8th grade and first grade, and that's ultimately my reason for running. I think that Harrison is a great place to live. I've been here 20 years, and it's just time to give back to the community. I served on North Arkansas College Board, so I had some ideas about education. I know how important post-K through 12 education is, and I thought, well, I'd like to dive into the K through 12.
Right.
You can't get the next part unless you get the first part done, and Harrison's a great place. When you look at and people that you meet in the community, you look at these individuals, and you say, they went on to medical school. They went on to productive, working for whether it's the city or the college or the hospital. These people that went to Harrison have great educations to start with, and I want to be a part of that. I mean, I didn't see anything broken. I saw something that would be good to be a part of.
Right.
And so I was very encouraged. And then I think when I saw a change of upper management, maybe as you want to say, we got a new superintendent and an assistant superintendent. When you look at what Mindy Moss is doing, when you look at what's going on there, I said, well, that's a good thing to be a part of. Why not be a part of something when it's good?
Yeah.
So many times people jump in and they say, well, something's broken. I didn't necessarily see anything broken.
Yeah.
I saw something that was really well done.
And a lot of times people run for office for an ulterior motive to correct things or make things change or because they don't like whoever's in there. Now, have you been to any of the meetings?
I have. I've been to 2 meetings. And I know almost everybody on there. In a community this size, you do business with people and you run into people, and they seem to be very like-minded. I think everybody. It's easy to say we're for the kids. I mean, I think that's just an easy thing to do, but to really put your money where your mouth is, and I've seen people gripe and complain and do those things, and it's so easy to be in the background, complain about things. And if you don't like something or you want to support something, it's better to join it. And so we've got a very passionate, I think, school district. They seem to rally around a goblin, whether it's academics, the band, choral, football. You will see them gathering around that, and it's a neat thing to be a part of. And not growing up in this part of the state, there's such an optimism among these kids that once you get through with high school, that's not the end, that's the beginning. And where I came from, that's not always was the feeling. I mean, some kids said, well, I'm thinking about going to college. I see more people in this area saying, I'm thinking about doing something when I get out of school, whether that's getting those kids involved in those 2-year trade programs or a 2-year degree or even on to a 4-year degree or even further down the road. Kids seem to be more prepared for that in Harrison, Arkansas than they are in a lot of school districts in the states.
And the better education they get, the better opportunity they're going to have wherever they decide to go.
Well, you go around the state, and when you tell people where you live, people are envious of you. And so when you talk about schools, they're envious of us. And sometimes we look at Northwest Arkansas and we say, wouldn't it be nice to have that school district or be in that school? But we forget what a wonderful schools that we have right here in our own backyard. So not just Harrison, I mean the other school districts around, we have a great place to live.
It's a great place to live, yeah, it is.
When businesses come to look at this, and everybody wants new business. Everybody would like to land new businesses. When they come to our community, they look at a couple things. What's the hospital like? What's the schools like? Those type things. What's the infrastructure like? We've got a lot to be proud of, and I'd like to be a part of that. That's just an opportunity to be something that you can actually say, what a great thing to be in. So.
Were you just kind of biding your time waiting for that position to open, or had you really thought about it?
About 6 months ago, I didn't even know who and what positions, and I wasn't sure that someone was actually not going to rerun for election. And Dr. Ray decided, I guess, not to run. He's got a daughter in college now, and there was 2 positions open, and one person has been on that board, and one was open, and I said, I'll run for the open position. That person has already shown dedication over the years and things, and I just thought I'll run for that open position. A couple of months ago, me and my wife talked about it, and she said, yeah, you need something else on your plate. And I said, well, maybe not. And then as time went on, I still had that heart's desire as it came down to time to post or time to get signed up to do it, and I felt like it was the time to do it. So.
Are the positions open for a certain length of time, or once you're on there, can you stay on there as long as you want?
Well, you have to run for re-elections. I think it's a 7-year term.
Okay, 7-year term.
And so many terms come available,
Okay.
but it's an opportunity, I believe. I mean, if you look at it, the school district's really set up to be supportive. You know, we're kind of a checks and balances. Mindy Moss, or the superintendent, has certainly set it up to where that the principals have control, and then it just kind of comes up to her, and she makes the ultimate decisions. But there's control at different levels. The school board really isn't a board that's involved in every detail. You trust the people that are in place.
Right.
Trust those teachers that they're going to do a good job, and they've shown that they can. You trust that those individuals making the busing decisions and all those are doing the right thing. So it comes back as we're supporting them as they continue to make wise and smart decisions, and we want to give them every opportunity to do that. And when you look at it as a history of the Harrison School District, we've seen some pretty good decisions made.
But sometimes you have to be tough in your decision making.
Yeah, it's like parenting. I mean, you know, a lot of it is cheering them on. You know, a lot of it's cheering your kids on. In football, it's cheering on. And then when my daughter comes off the court, I said, "You didn't play with enough passion tonight," or "You didn't, you know, you should have." You know, sometimes that does come into place.
Yeah.
And you know, that's where, you know, running a business. I run a department for the hospital. That's where that business part does come in, and so we have to do that from time to time.
Well, that's good. Now, this board is. Can you see how it's different than other boards that you've been involved with?
Yeah, I think one, you know, you have not-for-profit boards where you typically, you know, people only know about it if they're passionate about it. I mean, like with hospice, people may know about hospice, you know, with the 20th Plenty campaign that goes on. They may know about hospice, but they may not be vested, you see a lot of people, whether they raise their kids and they're gone, but they went through the Harrison School District, they have children coming into it, their grandkids are involved. This is something that more people are vested in than just a typical board. So you know, just by running, you get people, you know, as you're walking down the street or you know, asking people for votes, who have an idea, or they say, "I wish," or "I think," and you know, you listen to those. And then, you know, of course, you know, just running at this point, you know, you say, well, if we get elected, but there's a process, and I think that what I've done is I've told them, I said, you go talk to that teacher, and then you talk to that principal, and then you talk to the assistant superintendent, and wherever that gets you, it's not necessarily school board that makes those decisions. Those processes go through the ranks, and so it's a little bit different than a typical board. But a lot of people have opinions, and a lot of people have a vested interest in the schools.
No doubt.
Well, we wish you luck in the
Thank
campaign.
you.
Yes.
Early voting started already?
It has. As this thing is airing, obviously we started on Tuesday, and the election's on the 20th. So normal business hours is what the early voting will be for the courthouse, which I believe is probably, I'm going to guess, is 9 to 5, 8 to 5, something along those lines. Janelle probably knows better than I do. But then on the election day, I think it's 7:30 to 7, which is September.
Is there other than one voting area?
No, one voting
Just
area
at the courthouse.
This is, you know, kind of not a special election, but this is set up a little differently, and so that's the only real election that's going on.
Okay.
So
All right.
it'll be unique.
Anything else?
I
Good luck,
appreciate
John.
you guys having
Anything
me
else
on.
you want to add, or you?
No, I appreciate you guys letting us come on to do this.
Okay.
Well, we're
Thank
going
you.
to be talking to Janelle Crockett, not right up next, but we want you to tune in. You got John's part of the story, and we'll, as part of the fairness of what we do here, we want to give equal time to her. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Zena Hall and Jackie Serrett about the Boy Scout. But first, we're going to take it back to Michelle Bear. You're going to take a break? Okay, we won't go to Michelle. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Zena Hall and Jackie Serrett. Stay with us.